UN Poverty. Welcome to my podcast about poverty. Do you ever think about this worldwide issue? Here, you will be learning all about this. But before you start listening to the rest of this podcast, let's talk about the UN Sustainability Goals. These are a few goals which were made by an organization called the UN. They have planned to reach these goals by 2030. But they will need your help. You can help by donating or plenty more things. By helping the UN, we will have fewer problems in the world and in your cities. In this podcast, we will learn especially about one goal, about poverty, and what we can do. Many famous people have also tried to help by making quotes to inspire the world. Some of them are: extreme poverty anywhere is a threat to human security everywhere. Number 2, in a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. Number 3, to live with Jesus is to live with the poor. So now, I think that these quotes might have inspired you. But now I think you should continue listening to my podcast. So I hope you enjoy my podcast about the UN poverty. What is poverty? What is poverty? Do you think that is people who don't earn money? Well, that's where you're wrong. Poverty is not only when people don't earn money, but when people don't have enough needs that a human needs. For example, money, water, food, healthcare, education, and a shelter is something we all need in our lives. Two main types of poverty in the world is absolute poverty and relative poverty. Absolute poverty is where people don't have the basic needs, which are food, water, shelter, and more. Relative poverty is where the household receives 50% less than the normal amount of income that a person makes. Now that you know what is poverty, have you ever wondered why there's so much poverty in Brazil? Why is there so much poverty in Brazil? Mostly, the poor live in bad condition houses and the food they can find. Brazil has had one of the worst economies, and poverty has risen from 6.6% to 7.4%. The houses that the people in poverty live in have broken holes and bad construction. The food which they eat is only what they can afford. On top of all of this, there are people in poverty who need health care. If you haven't had health care, you wouldn't feel good. Many people can even die because of this. A few examples are if someone has a terrible headache or a stomachache, there will not be much health care provided for them. They might feel bad for days, months, years, who knows? If you have been to Rio de Janeiro, you will see favelas. These are places where people live as I described. The main cause of this is the economy, which is the money. Some people in Brazil can earn less than 143 reais per month. That is when you're considered poor. If you notice, in many Brazilian spots, you will see the rich side, which is living in a luxury life. They have good apartments and good food. Every day, the adults go to their jobs and the children go to their schools. And none of them have that many struggles while they come back from work or a school. In a car, like a BMW or a Mercedes, poor people sitting on the streets can just watch and dream. So, what actions can we take so that the help can help the poor? Imagine a world where everyone has the same opportunities, where the poor can get good food and a good car, and they can get education. What can we do to help the poor? What can we do? Like I previously said, the rich people can get the best things, like food, good apartments, and a car, while the poor don't get any of those opportunities. So take it like this in your mind. We are Apple, one of the biggest technology companies in the world. People buy from us every single day, and we're billionaires. While the poor are a company that nobody buys from. They are making zero money and nobody knows them. So many people have started to think that. What can we do? We got a few ideas from the UN and the whole world. Inventions can be made, or even sites to raise awareness. But let's not get into that. A few ways to help people in poverty are: number one, raising awareness. That is a great way. Social media has become something we use in our daily lives. We can use it to help the poor. Number two, donating essentials to the poor. If we can do this, we can help many poor people. There are many things we do not need, like toys, old clothes, or shoes, which we should donate because we won't even use them. Number three, increase access to clean water. We can help many people who need water by doing this, and a few people have already made inventions to do this. Dirty water into clean water is what they have done. Number four, volunteering to help the poor. If we help by going around town when we are free, many people will have a bit better lives. Many people don't notice these opportunities to help them and let them go. Number five, sign petitions against the law. If we sign petitions, the government will need to help us and the poor. Then maybe we have a bit better chance. Number six, donating money to Brazilian charities. A charity in Brazil which helps many people with Brazilian medical problems is UNICEF Brazil. The main goal in Brazil is to help people in need of medical help, like people in poverty. This organization is created by the UN itself. But why is this also important? Will it help us? Why do we need to know this? Why is this so important? Why is this so important? Helping others who are poor is very important because if we help them, the world will be better. Don't you want that? It will also affect the world because if we end poverty, people will have equal lives and we will feel proud too if we help. God also wanted us to help because once He said, "Whoever is kind to the poor also lends to the Lord, and He will be rewarded them for what they have done." Also, By helping the poor people, we can make new jobs and educate them and make our economy better. We will have a much stronger community which will not need to worry more about poverty. And we will build a happy society where nobody is on the streets with no food and people just passing by them like they don't even exist. But that will all happen only if we help the UN achieve the poverty goal, and there will be no more poverty. But, what about now? Now that you learned all about this, what should we do? Do you have any more ideas? What can we do to end this strong and important issue that we need to fix right now? So what now? Now that you know more about poverty, do you know any actions you alone can take? Try and make anything up in your mind. You will help many children who are in need of your help. If you want to help even more, you should also know about the UN Sustainability Goals. There are 17 goals, and they are: number 1, no poverty; number 2, zero hunger; number 3, good health and well-being; number 4, quality education; number 5, gender equality; number 6, clean water and sanitation; number 7, affordable and clean energy; number 8, decent work and economic growth; number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure; number 10, reduced inequalities; number 11, sustainable cities and communities; number 12, responsible consumption and production; number 13, climate action; number 14, life below water; number 15, life on land; number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions; and last but not least, number 17, partnerships for the goals. Each of them have a big value of completing. These are the 17 goals that the UN has set, and like I said, they're for a huge cause. Many actions have already been made, but not only for poverty reductions, but for all of the other goals. In this podcast, you have learned what is poverty, taking action, and why this is so important. So now you can raise awareness about poverty and help the UN to achieve these goals by 2030. Although the UN is trying to reach all these 17 goals by 2030, many researchers have found a few sites that have said that without your people's help, they will only reach it by 2050. Imagine those poor people. What will they do? They will have to stay poor for a long time. Just for a quick recap, poverty is not only about money, but also basic needs. The second thing you learned was why there's so much poverty in Brazil, because of the bad economy they had. You also learned how you can help these people for a few different reasons. The last thing you learned was why this is so important. It is so important because then only will the world be a better place. Make sure to share this with other people, because then only will the world know about this huge problem. Talk about how they could raise awareness, create accounts to raise awareness even more about poverty, and help those poor children and adults in poverty. So Now that you know everything about this poverty goal, you should be an expert by now. So I hope you liked it, and I'll see you later. And when I see you, I hope that you've made a difference in poverty about the UN goals.